and welcome to A Perfect Home. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jen Cohen. Thank you so much. So our goal here at A Perfect Home is to introduce you to industry professionals at the top of their game who can help you take your house to a home, a perfect home. Today is no exception. Today we are talking with Jim Hostler. He is a reverse mortgage specialist. This is going to be a very cool conversation. You probably want to get a pen because you're going to want to write down websites and names and numbers and things like that and all the information that we're going to talk about. Thank you for being here, Jim.
Thanks, Jen. Good to be back again.
This is an exciting subject to talk about. Reverse mortgage is really coming to light. People are hearing things, maybe not so great things. So we're going to talk about, the myths and misconceptions. But first, let's talk about you. How did you get into this industry?
By mistake, actually, almost 30 years ago. And I answered an ad, which is the only classified ad I've ever answered.
Wow.
And I got into the mortgage business, and that was back in, I believe it was 1989, 90, right in there. So right at 30 years ago in Chicago.
Wow.
So spent 15, 20 years there in the mortgage business pretty much. So got out and we moved to Sedona now 11 years ago. And I was out of the mortgage business and I thought, wow, I'm out, yay. And then got sucked back into it after a sabbatical of unwanted unemployment and hated it until about 5 years ago I found the reverse mortgages. And for my entire career I shied away from them because I thought they're not a good loan. And in the beginning, President Reagan is the one that signed them into law. They've been around for 30 plus years now. Over 1 million of them have been originated. So, but in the beginning they weren't a good mortgage because at one point, one of them was, if you sold your home and you had equity, you had to give half that equity to the bank. How could you ever sell that, right?
Right.
So beginning in 2013 through as recently as October of this year, they've made a lot of changes. And a lot of those changes are good changes for the senior homeowner. So from 4 or 5 years ago, I have a passion now. So I get to help seniors, and when I walk away and we're done, and it's not, in the mortgage business today, so much of the conversations are, what's the lowest rate and how quickly can I close? That is not at all what we do, what I do. In the reverse mortgage profession, it's truly its own profession. It has its own language. There is not another product like it in the world. So it's very unique, and you really need to specialize in it to understand it. And it's more from, yes, I sell reverse mortgages. That's how I make a living. But the means to the end is I consult with people and educate people. Because you have to be educated, you have to understand them, you have to go through HUD counseling. That's a federal law. So we want to make sure it's safe. We want to make sure that you can afford it. We want to make sure that, when I say we, it's me, the company, the industry, let's go all the way back, that you can, if you closed your reverse mortgage today, you're going to be in better shape having closed it than you are when I found you. That's really the bottom line. And there's, oh my God, so many good stories. I had a couple, really cool couple, decided decades ago to put like $250,000 from student loans for their 2 sons on a home equity line. Well, all of a sudden, the bank says we want to amortize that payment, and their payment was over $3,100 a month after, and now they've retired.
Right.
Ooh, that's a little bit of a bite. So the reverse mortgage, that was one example that we did. It's a $1.5 million home in Scottsdale. So, and all the way on the other end of the spectrum where people are really struggling to make it ends meet because the retirement income a lot of times is less. Social Security, by the way, do you know Social Security was designed to be 40% of your income, not income replacement? So and how many people, how many seniors are living only on Social Security?
Right.
So when that becomes an issue and there's not much or any savings and you really have to scrimp, and a big piece of your budget now is that mortgage payment, and that principal and interest payment can go away and you don't have to ever make another payment, that's transformative for a lot of people. It's a big deal.
Yeah. That is amazing. So describe in layman's terms, if you can, exactly what a reverse mortgage is.
Well, there's no free lunch. So if you take out a loan in a traditional mortgage, you have to pay principal and interest payment, right? On a reverse mortgage, you don't have to make a payment, and you can. That's a conversation we have. But the interest part, what I mean by no free lunch is the bank is still going to get their interest. They're still charging you interest. That the difference is, by not making a payment, that interest is accruing every month. So if you get a loan today, a year from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, and by the way, there's no term limit. You live to be 110, God bless. It goes for as long as it's your primary home and you're living there. But the interest is accruing, so you're owing more money. Well, there's two sides of that now. So you wake up in the future and you owe more money than you do today. In the economy we've been blessed with for the last 10, 11 years, if you think about it, if you have a $300,000 home, the appreciation on the home is greater than the interest that's accruing. So what does that mean? That means if you wake up at some time in the future and decide to sell your home, you're going to net more money out of it than you would today selling it. The other side of the coin is if we have 2009 come back and bite us again, and the economy goes and home values go down horribly. Let's paint a really doomsday scenario here, really bad. It's federally insured. So you give them the keys and you walk away. It's called a non-recourse provision. So that means that a person could have a dime or $1 million in their savings account or in their estate if they pass away. And if they owe more money than that home is worth, the federal government cannot come into the estate for a penny. They're protected. And while I'm on that subject, if one of the heirs of the estate wants to buy the home, they can, and they get a 5% discount. So, good thing.
Wow. So yeah, it sounds like folks in retirement are definitely the prime person for this type of mortgage.
Age 62. So if you're a couple, one of you have to be 62. Primary residents have to maintain the home, have to pay taxes and insurance, and that's it. Now, if later on in life it's a couple and one of them, for an example, would go into like assisted living, as long as one of the couples stay in the home, again, there's no term limit, so live to be 110. Doesn't matter.
Okay. What determines the amount of loan you're able to take out on the home?
There's three components. One is the value. Second one is interest rates, and the interest rates today are at near historic lows. So if I'm going to give you more money and I'm going to charge you a higher interest rate, you're going to get less. If I charge you a lower interest rate, you're going to get more. So what that equates to, everything being equal, because we're in an environment of lower interest rates, people are able to tap into a little bit more equity. So you combine the value of the home, the current interest rate, and the age of the youngest borrower, and then it's like, that's not a chart. The algorithms are going to tell us how much equity they can tap into.
All right. Thank goodness for algorithms.
Yes, right?
Change the world.
The computer, yay.
Well, Jim, you're just an amazing wealth of information. If you would like to call him and have a conversation, 928-225-7418. You can also go to jimhostler.com. Lots of information there. We have so much more to talk about, but we've got to take a quick break. So we'll be right back with more of A Perfect Home, so don't go away.
Reverse mortgages have undergone a great deal of changes since 2013. They're great loans, providing flexibility, access to tax-free cash, and low interest rates. Let me help you with your quality of life and peace of mind in your retirement years, no matter how long that is. For your in-home, no-obligation consultation, contact me, 928-225-7418. That's 928-225-7418, or go to jimhostler.com. That's jimhostler.com to schedule your appointment today.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
Hi, this is Michelle and I welcome you to Sedona Paint Centre. We are here to help you find the perfect colour scheme and product for your home and business. Enjoy free in-store and in-home colour consultations and free paint samples in a colour of your choice. As a special offer to you, just mention this ad and save an extra 10% and enjoy 30% off store-wide.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle. Get Gettles.
Hi, this is Lori and Melissa from Sedona Soul Spaces. We are the premier source for all your interior design, decorating, and staging needs.
Every day people ask, why didn't I call you sooner?
Let us use our passion, creativity, and experience to make your life easier.
Don't make costly mistakes. Call us and we will help save you time and money.
We offer full-service interior design, custom furnishings,
Complete home staging, turnkey vacation home packages.
Sedona Soul Spaces, creating extraordinary spaces that delight your soul.
Welcome back to Perfect Home. We're here with Jim Hostler. He's a reverse mortgage specialist. We've talked about how we got into it in a little bit. We were delving into it, reverse mortgage, what it's like, what does it look like for you if you're interested. And of course, you can give him a call at 928-225-7418. Make sure you wrote that down. Now, speaking of writing, you wrote a book, Jim.
Yes.
What inspired you to write a book?
My frustration at learning this profession. And I'm thinking, if I have at that point 25 years of experience and I'm challenged with this, what's the layperson? What's the realtor? What's the financial advisor? What's the accountant? What are they doing for information? And I thought, wow. And so through that, what happened was I ended up writing a book. It's self-published. It's available on Amazon. And Bob Massey, who was the property man on Fox News and a legal analyst, I actually had the pleasure of doing an event with him in Scottsdale, and he endorsed my book, which caused the second edition in part to come out.
All right.
So it was the myths, the misconceptions, the lack of knowledge, and all of that. And I thought, can I put that together in a book in relatively small chapters, 5, 7, 8 pages, and just chunk that up? So that if you're interested in a specific topic, go there and read it. You don't need to read it cover to cover. Can if you want to, but don't have to.
Nice.
So it's a way for people to become more educated, as applicable as they want to.
Very good.
Premise, and dispel a lot of those myths and misconceptions that have been around, and we're getting better at that, but we need to keep it up.
Okay, so what are some of the myths and misconceptions around reverse mortgage?
The biggest one is the bank owns the home, and they do not. It's just like a conventional forward mortgage where the bank has a first lien on the property. So if you go to sell the property, that first lien has to be paid off, but never does the bank own your home. You maintain ownership of the home with a first lien on your property.
Seems simple enough.
Yeah, it is once you understand it. Too expensive. The federal government has some guidelines in there that you have to charge, but that's true with any government-backed or insured mortgage. FHA, VA, USDA, they all have a cost. Most financial products do. It's all fair. There's some variables in there, but yeah.
Oh, very good. Well, it's wonderful that you were able to write all this down for everyone, that they're able to find that information. I like how you can read this chapter and you don't have to read through it. Well, want to,
right?
I'm sure. What's the name of your book?
Reverse Mortgage 360, A New Perspective.
All right.
And so the new perspective aspect is designed to take and dispel the myths and misconceptions of yesterday's reverse mortgage.
Yes, yesterday's reverse mortgage doesn't exist anymore. Now it's totally different.
It does not. Bank of America, Wells Fargo were two of the three biggest players in the reverse market in 2011. They're gone. They're out of it completely.
Wow.
So a lot of changes. And again, beginning in 2013, if a person hasn't studied them since 2013, and HUD, Housing and Urban Development, the godfather that wrote the rules, FHA insures it, they just made in October changes as it relates to condos. So truly, over the last 6 years, they continue to get more, I would say, senior homeowner friendly. But the whole premise behind that, Jen, get educated.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great way to be educated. Jim, you're offering a complimentary copy of the book.
Yes.
Because, you're watching the show. Hey, bonus, swag time. Go to Jim at jimhostler.com or give him a call at 928-225-7418. Say, hey, I want a copy of that book.
Free.
That's amazing. It sounds wonderful. And of course, if you don't want it free, you're welcome to pay for it. Just go to Amazon.
Sure. Or Kindle, if you want to download it that way. Either way.
Oh my gosh. Are there any common pitfalls at the moment when people are seeking a reverse mortgage? Do they need to be sure to be safe in how they go about it and where they're choosing and anything like that?
That's a great question, Jen. And my biggest piece of advice on that is work with somebody that specializes in reverse mortgages. My bias, I own it, is that it's truly its own profession. It is unlike any forward mortgage. It is unlike any other financial product in the world. So if you don't know it, if you don't work in it, if you don't study it, and you have a loan officer, and I say this with all due respect to all of us in the profession, but if you have a loan officer that picks it up and says, oh, I think I can get you this rate and here's what you get and go, do you know that in fact they may be doing you a disservice by giving you the lowest possible rate? Consult with me and I'll tell you how and why, but it's not the lowest rate that always wins. In fact, that could be adverse against them. So work with someone that does this full time, and because otherwise it could hurt you by tens of thousands of dollars later on in your retirement years when you need the money the most potentially.
Right.
So, and a great financial planning tool. I'm not a financial advisor, however, this can be used in corporation with financial planning, and a great financial planning tool is to look at a line of credit. And in the future, instead of taking other assets, you may be able to tap into a line of credit. And I lost both of my parents this year. I know firsthand, from which I speak right now, very sadly, that in-home health care is much less expensive than having somebody have to go to what we call the nursing home in Iowa or assisted living. That's just shocking how much that can be a month. $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. But in-home health care, well, if you have that money available now, I can't stress enough, if it's not through me, if it's not through reverse mortgages, a sidebar away from our conversation, oh my God, please plan for the future. Plan like you're going to live to be 120 and then live like you're going to die tonight. It's so sad to see so many people that wait, and if something happens or you're not mentally or emotionally ready for something to happen, and it does, that's called life. And then what happens is that happens, you lose a spouse. Well, guess what else happens? You have the stress of losing a spouse, as in this example, and the other component to that is the finances don't stop. So it may be augmented exponentially by the sheer fact that now there's financial trouble involved with the loss of a spouse.
Right.
So to be proactive, and that's, having a will, because if you don't, the state of Arizona does. In the whole financial planning picture, it is a very cheap insurance policy, inexpensive insurance policy, to have your financial house in order and be proactive.
Yes.
And please take a look at a reverse mortgage if this indeed, if you own 50-60% of your home, if you're 62 and over. I have a couple, a gentleman that contacted me yesterday for his mom and dad who were 86, and he's 59, 60 years old. So he's doing it for mom and dad.
Yeah, planning ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to plan ahead now, not when something actually happens. It's too late at that point. But now, when you're not under that stress, when you have that time, when you can reach out to a professional and have your questions answered, things like now is the time to work on that. We're going to take another quick break. Go to jimhostler.com. You can give him a call at 928-225-7418. I know you want a copy of his book. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Paul Stanley here with Stanley Steel Structures. We offer shade structures that provide style, value, and performance. Our Equinox louvered roof opens and closes to give you the ultimate patio experience. We also offer Alumawood shade covers that looks like wood but lasts like steel and never needs painting or maintenance. Visit us at StanleySteelStructures.com. Contact us today and be covered tomorrow. Stanley Steel Structures. Let us add some space to your place.
Turning your real estate dreams and goals into reality, I'm Claudette Johnson with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For more than 7 years, I've helped both real estate buyers and sellers put me and my team's extensive knowledge of the Sedona and Verde Valley area to work for you. Come see a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, single-level home with a pool at 50 Sedona Street. You'll love the Sedona Red Rock views from this VOC area home. We turn your real estate goals into reality. Claudette Johnson at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services of Arizona.
The EPA says C&B Construction ranks in the top 1% nationally. C&B Construction invites you to see what energy efficiency and indoor air quality can be. We have won another Department of Energy Innovation Award, and C&B Construction is the only contractor in the country to win 6 consecutive EPA Indoor Air Plus awards. Experience our zero-energy, move-in ready homes at Crossroads at Mingus.
C&B Construction, locally respected, nationally recognized. Find out more at candbhomes.com.
Do you need more closet space? Hi, I'm Tracy Shadley, owner of Organize A to Z. We provide professional custom design solutions to keep you and your space organized, which helps reduce your stress, increase your productivity, and allows you to take control of your belongings. We are proud to be locally owned and operated, specializing in custom closets, garages, offices, and pantries. Call me today for your free consultation. Organize your space, organize your life.
To a Perfect Home. We're talking with Jim Hostler, the reverse mortgage specialist. All kinds of cool things coming out. Now, here's something I didn't know. You can purchase a home with a reverse mortgage.
Yes.
That's incredible. How is that possible?
Many people still don't know that. It's another great question, Jen. 2009, and prior to that, you could not. 2009, HUD opened the doors and said you can purchase a home with a reverse mortgage. Works many ways. So if you think about somebody coming to Arizona, Verde Valley, and all of a sudden they fall in love with a $400,000 home and they just cashed in their $200,000 home wherever they came from, they're a little short. So there's many different scenarios. One would be that you don't have to put, say you had a $200,000, maybe you could buy a $350,000 home. So that's one. Another one would be if you had, say, a $700,000 home and you sold that and you want to downsize. Well, instead of taking all of that money on, say you bought a $250,000 home, instead of taking all of that money and putting into the $250,000 home, maybe you put in, I'm guessing, but just for sake of example, you put in $150,000, $175,000 and you put the rest in, it's called cash. You keep it in cash. Cash is king in retirement. So the other thing, where you get a little bit creative, is if you own your home, you can take cash out of your home. You can take that and use it for down payment to buy investment property. And now in your retirement years, you have investment property that augments your income.
Wow.
So I have a gentleman in Gilbert, both knees are replaced. His home, when you go in the front door, you go up 3 stairs to a landing, and then you go up more stairs. It's time to downsize from all the stairs to a ranch home. So maybe it's just a lateral move. You're complete with the stairs, and you just want a ranch home. So you can buy that, and you don't have to put all of that money, that purchase price, into the home and pay cash, or you get a loan and have the obligation of a monthly mortgage payment to make. And you get to keep some of that cash, put it in the bank, and not have a mortgage payment.
Wow.
Still have to pay taxes and insurance,
Of
but
course.
that's cheap living.
Right. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. You know, truly, if you put all your cash into your home, what have you got? So, yeah, this is a way to keep cash on hand. And in retirement, of course, that's something you definitely want to have around in the eventuality that something may go wrong or health-wise, or the kids might need something or something like that. And to be able to have that option is amazing.
Yes.
And it makes home buying a lot less stressful, I bet, when you start crunching the numbers and you go, well, that's almost every dime we have. And now it's, oh, look at all this space of breathing room we've got because we did a reverse mortgage when we bought the house.
Put the swimming pool in the back, upgrade it a little bit, do something like that, and still have money left over. Not a bad thing.
Enjoy your retirement.
We're going full circle. Let's go back to the education aspect. Knowing you can purchase and knowing these few examples that we've shared, now it's time for conversation. Get educated on what your options are.
Yes.
And you could do all of that prior to even looking at a home, because it's really hard if you're looking at a $500,000 home and then realize, well, when the dust settles, I'm really more comfortable and the budget says I really should be in a $300,000 home. That's a little bit of a tough path to go down. So if you know and you're comfortable with your plan ahead of time and know what you want to do and can do and afford to do and you're comfortable with it,
right.
There you go.
There you go. And of course you want to read Jim's book. I know you do. Reverse Mortgage 360. Yeah, you definitely want to do that. If you call him or you email him at jim@jimhostler.com, he will supply you with a complimentary copy of that book. So you definitely want to get on that. Lots of great information in there for you, dispelling the myths, giving you information on how you can get involved and improve your retirement, plan for the future, and be prepared in case something should go south in the future. Jim, thank you so much for being here and having this discussion. Jim Hostler, our reverse mortgage specialist. He's amazing. You know, you want to give him a call. That's all the time we have for A Perfect Home. So we'll see you again next time.